So this course is CIS 4203. Okay, it's called IT Strategy and Governance. It's a 3 credit hour course. Okay, CIS 4203. All right. There are no labs for this course, but we have case studies. Okay. The FOA is a practical FOA, which is also okay, and it will have some mainly essay questions and case studies inside the FOA. These are the CLOs we are covering in this course. Mainly there are 5 course learning objectives covering the discuss the issues, challenges, and the importance of IT strategy and governance in an organization, and we will talk about this inshallah and today. And then CLO2, we will examine the roles and responsibilities of key people, processes, and technology required to manage organizational change. Okay. The CLO3 is about analysis, okay, and best practices and standards. So we will be learning about ITIM, COBIT, ITIL, BM Book, TOGAF, ESCM, and CMMI. So you will learn about this, inshallah. This will be in CLO3. CLO4 will be about critique. We will critique and give our opinion of existing IT strategy, considering the fair information practices. We'll have some case studies that we will study. CLO5 is about, so we have learned all about IT strategy and governance. Then we will need to create a plan, okay, for effective implementation of IT governance in an organization. When we talk about effective planning, meaning that it should align, the IT policy and plan should align with the business objective of the organization. Okay, now we'll talk about course resources. This is the name of the course e-text book, okay, implementing effective IT governance and IT management. It is also available online on the portal. Okay. Now for the exam, okay, this is how we will do the exams. So this is the weekly planner. Okay, today we will cover week 1, part of week 1, and then okay, here, yeah. Yeah. You see here the exams are course studies. We will have 3 of them. They will cover CLO1, CLO2, and CLO3. And the case studies will be short answer questions, not multiple choice. That's how this course design. And they will be from starting from covering week 2, from week 2 to 4. Yani maybe we'll have it like on week 3 or week 4. Then we have also the project. The project is 30%. So the case studies, 3 of them. Then we have project 30%, and the practical final is 40%. Okay. Any questions about this? We can answer.
Each case study is 10%?
Yeah, roughly. Maybe it will be like 9, 11, 9, 11, and then 10. It depends. We will let you know, but around this figure, yani. Okay. So, inshallah, wish you good luck. I will start with the first chapter. Okay, so this chapter 1, we will discuss, or we will have an introduction to IT strategy and IT governance. Okay, it's covering CLO1 as mentioned, which is to discuss the issues, challenges, and growing importance of IT strategy and governance in the organization. Okay. If you are going to, when you go to the book, you can read from chapter 1, page 3 to page 36. Okay, so we will talk about IT and business alignment, which is very important takeaway from this course. You'll see me talking about IT and business alignment many times during the class. We'll talk about IT governance, what is IT governance, and we'll talk about the scope of IT governance. We will discuss it in details. Okay, so these are the objectives of the class. So nowadays, if you can see that everyone is talking about in management, one of the important things in management is to manage the budget, to manage the fund, to manage the profit, to manage the business. IT is a tool to help them to get into this objective. The objective of the company is to make profit mainly, if it's a profit for-profit company. IT should be aligned with the business objective. Okay. And nowadays, IT is very important. Almost every business, they need IT, especially now with AI. And it's now involved in mostly all of the businesses, medical, health, media, of course, industry. Okay. So here they gave you a just for discussion. If you are like a CIO, and Chief Information Officer, and you have a budget of 1 million for 3 years. So what will you do with the budget? Okay. Of course, you will discuss with other departments what are their needs. Okay, you will talk to you will keep some money to the R&D or research and development. You will put some money into operation. Okay, and you will find out what are the challenges they have and how you can use the budget to solve these challenges. This is just an example. Of course, you will discuss more because this is a flipped classroom. So there will be some case study that you will watch on your own and read it. Then you will answer the questions, okay, in the activity. Okay. So in that example, if you are a CIO, Chief Information Officer, or CEO, okay, Chief Executive Officer, how does a company decide? And if they want to choose which IT systems are appropriate. These are the people who decide, CIO and CEO, top management. We call this executives. Which accounting software package to buy, whether to use IT systems to sell products on the web, and whether to make it online, okay, and so on. So when you are a CIO, these are the sort of things that you need to decide about. That's why the CIO and CEO, they are getting paid very well, okay, because they make the decisions, how to get into revenue increase, how to deal with compliance, and we will talk about what is compliance. Some of these terms may be new for you, maybe not, but we will explain each one of them, either today or in the next coming lectures. Then they need also to keep some budget for innovation in order to stay competitive. And they need to deal with complexity, training, change management, and so on. Okay, here we have this. This is the example. You will learn more about this example in the case study. Okay, so here you can see that These are the figures. Good news are things that you can find in your budget that are good, and you are making revenues. You have the potential to use this resource. Bad news is when you have some lack of resources, okay? This is just example, and you will learn more about the example in the activity. Okay. So when we talk about business strategy, what is business strategy? Strategy, what is the meaning of strategy? Strategy is something, a plan, long-term plan. Long-term, above than 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, long-term, okay? For your like service desk, for database team, you want to put their strategy, network team, storage, okay, and so on. Why you need to have a strategy? Because it will help the CIO to make decisions. When they want to make decision about a new investment, about a new project, they need to know, is it in line with their strategy? Does it meet their strategy objectives? Okay. So what are the CIO, CTO and Chief Technical Officer challenges? First of all, increasing pressure because you have a lot of technology, new technologies, emerging technologies, and you want to adopt these technologies. This is a pressure because sometimes you already have a system that's working. You want to adopt a new technology. This needs some sort of change management because you don't want it to affect your operations. Also, you have a growing complexity of IT operations. Yeah, and you have IT, you have the cloud, you have web application, mobile applications, and so on. You have hybrid cloud also. Demand for technology outstripping supply, of course. Communication gap between business and IT managers. Sometimes this is a problem. Okay. The IT are thinking in a way and the business are thinking in different way and they don't communicate. So this is the role of CIO, CTO, CEO to handle these challenges. Lack of funding, maybe. Also, you don't have a proper prioritization of your projects. You should have a proper prioritization of your projects, especially if you have good strategy, then you can do this easily. Okay. Also, you need to make your users happy, relaxed, know what they are doing, so you can avoid them to become frustrated. Okay. So IT managers operating, they need to handle everyday challenges. It's like they are firefighters. They want to handle everyday operations, challenges. So this is a good, I like this diagram. Here it shows you just a flavor what we have just talked about. So here we have, if you don't have effective governance, you will have these problems. Too many projects that you don't need or they are not aligned with your business objectives. Quality suffer. So this is like a reverse way to know about the advantage of effective governance. This is if you don't have effective governance, you will have these issues. Quality, underestimating risks, projects not aligned to strategy, you accept so many projects that you cannot handle, and so on. Okay. So business strategy, let's talk about some definitions, okay? Business strategy, the course of action or set of decisions that support organization in achieving certain business goals, okay? This is your business strategy, business goals. So the business strategy establishes the needs of the business. It sets the direction of the organization and helps to create goals to aim towards them. Okay. On the other hand, IT strategy is a comprehensive plan that outlines how technology should be used to meet what? To meet IT and business goals. So, at the end, you want to achieve your business goals. You want to make profit. You want to sustain. Okay. An IT strategy is essentially a roadmap that outlines how an organization will leverage technology to achieve its business goals. The IT strategy should support and shape an organization overall business strategy, of course. Always remember that. IT strategy should be in line with business strategy, should serve business objectives. On the other, let's talk now about, I told you we'll talk about governance. So here, let's talk about IT governance. When you talk about governance, you are talking about framework. So it is a framework that provides a structure for organizations to align their IT strategy with their business objectives again. Okay, I told you this term many times. How you are going to align using the framework. And there are different frameworks. Okay. IT governance formalizes and clarifies oversight, accountability, and decision rights for a wide array of IT strategy, of course, resources, and control objectives. So it is a framework of structures, relation mechanism, and a set of processes. Okay, so it's an overview. When we talk about framework, about governance, we are talking about an overview, like a high level. You are looking at the business from a high level, and then you are deciding what is the kind of framework and governance that you will have. Now, set of processes that ensure the effective use of IT to achieve business goals, decision-making processes, evaluating and priority processes, override processes, delegation, risk management. Okay, these are all part of them. Just examples. Now, when we talk about IT governance, we can think about two areas: IT demand governance and IT supply side governance. Okay. Demand governance, from the word what IT should work on, focuses on the business side of IT decision making. Okay. So you are talking about stakeholders, business leaders, executives, IT governance committees. Okay. This is the IT demand side governance. It will answer questions like what IT project should we prioritize. So when you say business demand, IT demand governance, this is from your side, stakeholders making decisions. Okay. The processes involve demand intake, evaluation, portfolio management. Okay, portfolio, we are talking about projects. When we talk about portfolio, we are talking about projects. Benefits realization to ensure that IT projects deliver the expected benefit for the business again. Okay. We said demand side. Now, what about supply side? Okay. Supply side is about the technical delivery, the system itself. Demand, process, business, stakeholders. Supply is the real action, اللي هو technical delivery. It's owned primarily by the IT department. And who is in charge for IT usually is the CIO, Chief Information Officer. Some organization is called CTO, Chief Technical Officer. And they will be in charge to answer questions like how will the IT projects be delivered efficiently and effectively? What resources I need, people, IT, computers, cloud, okay? The processes involved are service management, risk management, change management, performance management. So you can see here, it's all about actions. That's why it's called supply. This is the supply side. You have the demand, the thinking, the brain, then you have the supply, the actions, okay, the applied. Think about it like that, you will not forget it. So what are the benefits of having a proper IT governance? Okay, all the good things, you know, improve service quality, reduce cost, okay, reduce risks, efficient delivery time, all these goodies. What are the areas we focus on when we are designing or when we are working on our IT governance? Okay, first of all, and number one always, strategic alignment. You need to align it with business. Okay, most of the questions you need to start with this answer. Sometimes you will find yourself starting with this answer, aligning IT with business objectives. Resource management, proper utilization of resources, risk management, performance management, اللي هو quality, value delivery, okay, to optimize return on business or investment. You can watch also this YouTube video. It's useful. You can do it on your activity time. طيب, IT governance should take care of three principles. What decision need to be made اللي هي ال IT governance, السكوب. What يعني scope. Who اللي هو الستراكشر, يعني who's the manager, who's the CIO, who's the CEO, things, who's the Chief Information Security Officer. This is اللي هو who. How is the means, the process. Okay, so these are the three key decisions by IT governance should be mentioned in your framework. طيب, here is an example. Please have a look at it. For what? اللي هو السcope. Okay, the scope. These are the things covered by the scope. Just for example, IT principles. How do the business principles translate to IT principles? What is the role? See, always all the questions starts with what. Okay, what يعني scope. What infrastructure services are most critical also? What is the plan to keeping underlying technologies up to date? We need to update our technologies. If we have systems that are about to become obsolete, we need to update them. طيب, this is also continuation of the scope of IT governance. What is the the enterprise desired operating model? How IT will support it? Okay, اللي هو second principle. What are the need for integration and standardization? Now, for your IT infrastructure, what is going to be included in the shared platforms and services, your hardware and software system, your IT skills and knowledge, your shared services like network and shared database, SQL maybe, and so shared applications also. These are all under the scope of IT governance. Also, your business application needs, what is needed and what do you need to buy, what do you have already. Also, what is your application needs, challenge, and establishes architecture, all mentioned here. Okay. If you have parallel projects happening at the same time, also you need to specify them. Then you need to talk about what to prioritize, which one you should give higher priority. Now we will talk about the how. Uh, IT governance can be implemented through a framework of structure, processes, and relational mechanism. Okay, examples of these structures and processes, اللي هو structures will have the roles and responsibilities. Okay, roles and responsibilities. Okay, they call it matrix. IT organization structure, and we all know about the executive suite in the organization اللي هو CIO, CEO, CISO, big managers. And then you have your IT project steering committee. So you have the structure, you have the processes, okay, such as COBIT, ITIL, and we'll talk more about them, by the way, inshallah, in different chapters. Then we have relational mechanism, which is active participation and collaboration between business and IT stakeholders, like partnership rewards, incentives, business IT co-location. Sometimes you have joint functions or cross-functional activities and processes, okay, and internal communications. So here we have an overview of the integrated IT governance approach. Why we need to have integration? Because we want IT to be aligned with business goals. Okay. IT governance framework should provide a cost-effective approach to IT governance. Okay, consists of the following 6 critical imperatives. Business strategy, IT strategy, all should be considered. Plan, execution, performance management, vendor management and outsourcing, people development. Okay, these are all important, okay, for your IT governance framework. This is the flow, this is how they are related to each other, which is very logical, and if you look at it here, okay. First of all, where do we want to be? Where are we now? This sounds familiar. This is like gap analysis, you know. So where we are now, this is assessment. Where do we want to be? Lower vision. And these are part of the things. When you want to assess where you are now, you will do SWOT analysis. SWOT, yani strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat. What are your core competencies? Okay, so this is gap analysis. Then process change. How do we get where we want to be? Okay, how do we know that we have achieved? By using proper metrics. IT management versus IT governance. Of course, they are not the same. We all agree on that, I believe. Okay, governance is higher than management. Okay, and governance makes sure that you are meeting your business objectives. Management is for managing the day-to-day tasks of your IT and business. Okay. I like this diagram actually. See here, the governance is about evaluating, monitoring, directing high-level directions. Management is about plan, build, run, okay, monitor on employee level, okay. Where do the manager get their directions? From the government, from the governance of the organization. So in this chapter, we talked about IT governance, okay. IT governance represents a journey for the organization, and we all know that now that IT governance is different from IT management. IT management is more about the actions, the day-to-day tasks, the planning, the implementing, the building. Governance is more about framework, managing, monitoring, evaluating overall performance. It is critical to break down or segment the IT governance initiative into manageable, assignable, and measurable components. Okay, that's much better. Any questions about this? Please let me know if you have any questions.